Hello and welcome back to Garth Light Railway. Thank you very much for subscribing and commenting on the work so far at the railway, and all your likes. And today you join me in the workshop where we can just have a little bit of update what's gone on over the last month or so. Not a lot really. With lockdown it's been a bit of a struggle, as most of you will know. Limited finances and bouts of depression sat in the house. We've had a lot of bad weather as well, so getting into the garden hasn't been very productive, but we have done some bits and pieces. I just thought I'd show you around my workshop. It's not very big, 8 foot by 6 foot, so everything in its place and everything has a place. So we've got our pillar drill where we do all the drilling, small drill bits, and grinding station. And on the top shelf there we've got a 3.5 inch gauge Rob Roy, which was inherited from my father, that maybe one day I'll continue and try and get finished. We probably never run, I don't know, we'll see if we get time. Not quite my gauge, but I still have a potter. So we have all our nuts and bolts and trays, and these are very handy. Little drawers for all your bits and pieces. We've got a Clark lathe and milling machine. Probably about the biggest thing you can get in here, really, without taking up too much room. Brand new. Wife bought it me last Christmas. Thank you very much. Does the job, does what it needs to do. But the advantage is obviously you've got the milling machine as well, so it doesn't take up too much room. Just all bits and pieces in here. Clamps and cramps and all milling machine, all the milling heads and everything are over there, and different bits and pieces, 4-door chucks and blah blah blah. It's a good thing to have these magnetic hangers. You can hang all your bits and pieces up that you use regularly. The window into the garden. And then we've got the chassis for Sweet Pea, which we're building. I tried to build everything myself, so all the steel actually did come from Black Gates, but most of the other stuff, the saddle there and the start of the cab, it's all old scrap that we've collected. We've got a big scrap pile down there of different bits and pieces, steel and copper and lots of other bits and pieces. At the minute I'm just trying to get the axle boxes done. All the wheels are already turned on the lathe. We've already done those. So bit by bit we're doing them. The wheels are already turned. We just need drilling out. They're all marked set ready for drilling out. For the pins, shoving underneath, also home for the grandson's bike, and all the tools underneath everywhere. So it's compact, but everything's in its place. Nice table there for accurate measuring. But yeah, so lots of storage boxes. Nice little drawers or engine drawings, measuring equipment, paint, small pots of paint, electrical stuff, lots of bits and pieces in there. Even got a hoover to keep it nice and clean. So this is the only shed that we've got, so you know, it's and if you do get into a muddle in here, it soon gets a mess and you can't move and you can't walk around, and so it's good to keep it clean and tidy. Top shelf up there, we've got all the taps and dies, drilling bits and everything. So got everything we need. It's just very small and compact. We've got fairly decent lighting as well, so we can work out here in the winter. So, but yeah, so that's my workshop. As I say, not a lot gone in the garden at the minute on the rail. We've done a few jobs, but not many. You can see out there is the tunnel. That's the back end of the tunnel. We've actually got this part completed, and then we started to do the next part, which I'll show you in a minute. And we can see the weeds are all growing down as well. But we had weeks and weeks and weeks of rain, and all the spoil that we've cut out. Obviously we can't get a digger in this garden, so we've had to do it all by hand, and all the spoil that we dig out from there goes around the garden in other places. So at the minute we don't need any out the front because that's pretty much finished. So it's finding places to store the earth until we can actually backfill it and cover it. So we were stacking it up here. I'd made a temporary fence. You'll probably see that in my last video. But we had so much rain, it just we had a bit of a landslide. So it's not a problem because it's got to all be dug out anyway. It's all going to be moved, so it was just a bit annoying. But the plan is to the first section's done. The next section now, we've got another bit to go in, and we can backfill with, we've been putting concrete down there and waterproofing the boards, so to try and keep the damp out, we put concrete down the back as well. All down the back we filled with concrete, so it's like a two walls, but you know, it's not carrying any weight on the top really, so it's only superficial. But as I say, we're built on a side of a quarry, so it's all hard rock there anyway, so it's hard going, it's hard digging. We're getting there with it slowly though. As I say, with the lockdown we've had a bit of a lull because it is hard to get out and do stuff when it's raining all the time, especially when you've got a lot of digging to do. So we have to find other jobs to do, and I'll show you a few of those jobs. We haven't done a lot. We had pottering in the workshop, doing bits and pieces for the engine, and we did start making a ride-on truck, but we need to either make or buy some new bogies for that. I'll probably try and make some. They need to be sprung, and the ones I've got aren't sprung, so they're not very good really for going around this track. One of the comments was said about the leveling of the track. Yeah, I understand, thank you very much for your comment, but we've got to get some more ballast, and we will ballast all the way around properly and level all the track up before we actually run trains properly. We have done a bit of testing, but not too much. So I'll take you outside in a minute and show you just what else we've done. But here's my workshop. There's the steps that go out of the workshop over the railway. Show you that. So we have managed to dig out all around here and up to there, and I'll show you the rest of that in a minute. Okay, so this is the back of the shed. This is where the tunnel is. Here comes the crew, and we've got to the edge of the shed here, dug out. So we've got to dig out from here around now, around the corner to the other side of the shed, and the tunnel will actually be finished here. So then from there, hope I don't fall over, you can see then it goes down the side of the shed back towards the front of the shed there. So that's the next bit to start worrying about digging out. See, we can't get a mini digger in here, so it's all having to be dug by hand, and the grandson has been helping, which is good. So that's where we've got to now. So we've got to, obviously we're going to concrete all behind and backfill with concrete, same this side, and roof on. Then we can start using the backfill then. Okay, so one of the other jobs we've been trying to do is get the waterfall at the front of the garden under the viaduct working. So we've got 3 waterfalls, they're all working fine now. We have just to sort out the plastic and the rocks properly. Just comes into a little pond. One of those jobs that's been meaning to be done for a long time. Got to do all the chip-ins and make the pond nice around the front, but hopefully one day that'll be all sorted and that'll be another job ticked off. And the other job we've done is we've sorted all the pond out, cleaned it all out. So now you can see the fishes. Little waterfall over there. That's the top of the viaduct where the other waterfall is. We were netting on it for Mr. Heron. We lost some fish a few years ago because of the heron, so always put a netting on your ponds, guys. There's about 33 fish in there. We've got babies as well. Very soothing to sit outside. The other job I've done was on the bridge. The bridge fits in and takes out, and we've got these bolts, so when the bridge goes in, a fish plate that goes across and attaches it. So I'm thinking of changing it to a block square bar and having another bar inside just to make it easier. The bridge itself will have 2 steps this side, 2 steps the other side, which will be detachable, which you can take out. The bridge is, detachable anyway. It comes out. Back round the garden. Over there is the truck that we've started to build. I'll show you that in a bit. In the future we had to move that from there because it was just growing over the railway. Probably see some of the photos where it's grown over the railway, so it's still growing nicely over there now, and down to the gate for there, and the pond. All this is out at the minute because I've just put the pipe work in around the back of there for the waterfall. To the next bit. Okay, so this is the riding truck that we've been trying to do. It's basically just a bit of scrap wood. Got a couple of bogies there, but they're not sprung, so we need to get some new bogies for that. No floors, very basic at the minute. It does run okay, but work in progress. Next thing, get some bogies with springs on for when the track's leveled out. Say we've got to do all the ballasting all around the line, especially over the back there. Needs ballasting and leveling out. But yeah, so that's the start of the riding truck. Got to have bogies obviously for the tight curves that we've got. It's a work in progress. We'll see some more of that, hopefully. Okay guys, so that's just a short update of what's been going on. Not too much, I know, I'm sorry about that, but with weather and financial constraints and everything, it's a bit difficult, especially in lockdown. But thank you anyway for watching. If you have any comments, comment for me. Like and share and subscribe. My last video you'll see was a compilation of pictures, and that was my first attempt at editing. I'm a 70s baby, so not very good with the technology of editing, so any tips, any helpful information, would be grateful. And we'll keep you updated on what's going on the railway, and hopefully the next time we post we'll have some more of the tunnel done. That's the main focus of the railway at the minute, is to get the tunnel done and get all around the back of the shed dug out, and we can get some more track down. Well, the rolling stock is all being built in-house at the minute here, so there's not a lot of stuff at the minute. I have got the battery loco, which you've probably seen. He lives under there, the action men. But the plan is obviously to get some more rolling stock sorted for when the railway's up and running. I've got a couple of motors here. I'm going to try and build some electric locos, but the other project obviously is a steam engine, which is coming along slowly. We'll get there. So thank you again. Like, subscribe, and comment. Give me some comments. Let me know what you want to see. Any tips, any help on editing or doing videos. Very welcome to hear what you've got to say. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.